Major, I want to ask you, you stressed upon and you brought in the variable called harmonious existence and harmonious working of the three services with the new approach and the reforms that have been brought in. Already we knew just before General Bipin Rawat took that there was not to the person maybe, but to the concept of the Chief of Defence Staff as a single control center. Aspiration at an aspirational level, each of the three services would have wanted their person, to be getting the top job. Do you think that particular race opens up prematurely now with the passing away of General Bipin Rawat, and how do you think that's likely to be handled both at a defense, security, strategic level and at a political level?
Navika, the selection of a chief of any service or the CDS is purely a government prerogative based both on seniority and merit. And it's best left to the government for the CDS to be selected or chiefs or whatever. Now, coming to the other issue of what General Sushant and General Malik referred to is, out of box thinking and harmony. There is one thing in the armed forces which needs to be, I wouldn't say corrected, but kept in mind always, and that is habit interference. Now, habit interference is directly related to modernization, to reforms, and everything else. Because when the old has to give way to the new, there will always be a little bit of friction, both in the thinking and in the working of new systems. For example, you have an old aeroplane which has been with you for decades, and you got hundreds of technicians who have worked on that type of technology. When you get in a new technology in the Air Force or the Army or the Navy, anywhere, what happens is the reluctance of the old timer to adopt to new, better procedures. And anytime, the warfare, the nature of warfare is changing so rapidly in the world that I don't think we will go back to the days of, thousands of tanks rolling across the plains of Punjab and the deserts of Rajasthan, with troops moving across a few miles into enemy territory. I think the concept is changing where we need to have integrated battle groups. And when I mean battle groups, I mean a joint integrated group of the Army, Navy, Air Force, depending on the situation. Now, that is the form of battle, of training and getting used to it, which will be a huge factor when we talk of theaterization. Now, in its original meaning, theaterization was always referred to, classical war situations. But in today's world, that is far and few in between. We don't know if we'll ever see a classical war. But the same integrated concept, which means we will have to be lean, mean, and perhaps downsize a hell of a lot for this to achieve this with better equipment, better technology, and diversifying into many other fields of warfare, which will be barriers to cross as we go along. And it's very difficult to predict what kind of warfare will, obtain, say, 20, 15, or 20 years away from us. Now, this is where I think the integration will be very, very important between the three services to execute specific tasks in specific areas. This is where a lot of learning will have to take place, and that learning will have to be joint and very well orchestrated by the military leadership of all three services.
Well, Sushant Sareen, of course, we are looking at the road ahead. But before we really talk about the succession plan, there refuses, what refuses to die down are the conspiracy theories that are swirling around. there have been questions about the Mi-17s, their safety. Some people say that VVIPs have always flown it. Then there are the visuals that have come in where you can see the chopper just moving, in a straight line, doesn't seem to be in any trouble, at least in the visual clip that has been found. Do you think there is any credence to these conspiracy theories, or with the statement of the Raksha Mantri, these should be given a silent burial, or do you think these questions are pertinent to ask at this time?
Look, India being India, there's just so much noise. And suddenly everybody is a helicopter pilot. If a plane falls, everybody is a fighter pilot. If a tank goes awry, everybody is an armored corps officer. Everybody knows how to fire an artillery gun. Everybody knows which artillery gun works best in which terrain. So this noise will happen. I think it is important, especially for channels like yours, which are widely watched, to cut out this noise. Okay, let me just say, if you're talking about possibilities, there's a possibility of everything. There's a possibility that a missile came out of nowhere and took the aeroplane off. There's a possibility of every possible thing, right? But the armed forces have a way of going about things. An accident has happened. As of now, it is very clear it's an accident. We don't know what the reason for it is. Whether this was an accident, it was not an accident. They are going to hold an inquiry. These guys will go to the bottom of the issue and find out what exactly went wrong. I think we should wait for that. Part of our problem is that apart from 24/7 television channels, there is like 365 days, everybody is an expert, for example, on Twitter, on Facebook. Everybody comes up with conspiracy theories. Some clip taken out from somewhere and suddenly, you start spinning all sorts of yarns. Hang on, wait, let the inquiry happen. They will come out with all the facts. To say that, there was some conspiracy, somebody's trying to do something, frankly, I find it distasteful. I find it utter nonsense. Let the reports come out, let the investigation be complete, and we'll get to know what exactly happened. If there was a conspiracy angle, even that will come out. If there wasn't, it was an accident, we'll find out why the accident happened. Was it some kind of a technical failure? Was it some kind of a misjudgment by the pilot, which is unlikely because those pilots are very highly trained. They keep flying over that terrain. Was it something else? Was it weather related? I don't know. You can speculate till the cows come home. And I think, it insults the memories of the people who died when you indulge in these kind of, and it's a torture for the families of, those men who have died. It's a torture for them. I don't know what kind of brainless people come up with these kind of theories. I don't know, yaar. It just leaves a very bad taste in the mouth. That's all I can say. I think we should wait. We should wait. We should hold our horses. I think the media must give whatever information is coming. But for a lot of channels to air, I got a call from somebody, I will not name that channel. Attack हो गया. आपको पता है attack हो गया है? I said attack हो गया, किसके ऊपर attack हो गया? वो helicopter गिरा दिया है. I said कहाँ पर गिरा दिया है? I didn't even know. I was traveling. I said, I don't know. Maybe, maybe General Rawat was on the China border or on the Pakistan border and some incident has happened out there and then, all hell will break loose. So I said, tell me without getting, hysterical, what exactly happened. So he told me that the plane was taking off and going to the Defense Staff College. I said, yaar, who will attack it out there? For God's sake. But suddenly wo attack ho gaya hai. It's horrifying, the way this thing is done.